for the first one, we have a F here at the base, two C's, two E flats, and an A flat. I reorder them. So I have stacked thirds. I get F, A flat, C, E flat. So the root of the chord is F. And in F major, we have A natural, so we have E natural. So when seventh's been lowered a half step, third's been lowered a half step, that makes this a minor 7 chord. And the BPS comes from the bass note, which is F, which is the root. So the BPS symbol for root position 7th chord is 7. Next chord we have G sharp, E, and B sharp. Again, reordering them in stacked thirds, I get E, G sharp, B sharp. So E is my root. E has G sharp, but does not have B sharp. B's will raise a half step, so that makes it an augmented triad. And the G sharp is in the bass, which is the third, so that means the BPS is first verse triad, BPS is 6. Next one, E flat, E flat, A flat, E flat, C, A flat, C. Let's say A flat, C, E flat, and we stack it up. Alright, so A flat is my root. A flat has 4 flats. A's and B's are flatted, C's are natural. This is a major triad. And since E flat is the lowest note in the measure, that would make the 5th as the bass note, which means it's a second inversion triad. 6/4. Then we have F sharp, D, D sharp, A. Stack those up. I get B sharp, F sharp, A. Alright, so B is my root. Key of B has 5 sharps, D's are sharps, F's are sharp. A's should be sharp, but it's no lower than a half step. So this is a major minor 7, or if you just wrote 7 there, I would, if the dominant 7, I would accept that. That's the lead sheet symbol. But then the F sharp is in the bass, not the B, so this is not root position. Been inverted 2 times, so that makes the second inversion 7th chord, which is 4/3. Then the last one, we have G sharp, D sharp, B, G sharp, D sharp, B, B sharp, B, B sharp. All those notes, but it really spells just G sharp, B, B sharp. So G sharp is my root. There is no key signature for G sharp. So I have to go about it the long way. If it's G major, it'd be G, B, D. If it's G sharp major, everything would be sharp. But since the B has been lowered a half step, that makes it minor. It's a minor triad. And G sharp is the lowest on the measure, so it's a root position. Means we can leave it blank. Yeah, did that kind of fast, but questions? Pardon?
For major and minor, like the minor 7, the major triad, is it fine that I wrote MIN? Because I didn't know if you'd be able to differentiate my capital from lower.
MIN will work. And I noticed, I think I saw somebody, or maybe it was more than one person, that maybe G for augmented. That's fine. Ones I can follow. Like, you understand what the type is. Right? Other questions? Alright, how do we feel we did?
I think I know enough of what I did.
Feel like you know enough?
Enough from what I got done.
Okay. for study for Wednesday, I did post a study guide, some of you guys may have seen it, maybe not. It's up here, and we'll go through that today in class. But pretty straightforward, I mean, know all four types of triads. How to build a major triad, how to build a minor triad, how to build an augmented triad or diminished. And then be able to spell it from either the root, third, or fifth, just like we had to do on the first, chapter 3, first assignment, so. Know all 5 seventh chords starting in class, major, major, minor, minor, half diminished, and diminished. And then be able to build those chords off the root, third, fifth, or seventh. Know the triad seventh chord inversions. If you have a first inversion triad, what note of the chord is in the bass? The root, third, or fifth? Third. If it's a second inversion triad or seventh chord, what note is in the bass? Fifth. And if it's a third inversion seventh chord, what note is in the bass? Seventh. BPS, know the BPS for each inversion. So if it's a root position triad, what's the BPS symbol? Blank, right?
Blank.
There isn't, yep. Or 5-3, if you want to, if you write 5-3, I'll still mark it correct. What's the BPS for first inversion triad? 6? Or 6-3. Second inversion triad? 6-4. Root position seventh chord? 7. First inversion seventh chord?
6-5.
Second inversion seventh chord?
4-3.
And third inversion?
2.
Okay. And if it's an inversion, are you able to reorder them like I did and find the root?
Yes.
Okay. Be able to analyze a piece of music, finding the root, the type, and the inversion symbol, just like we did there. Then we move on to chapter 4. Know and understand diatonic triads and seven chords in major and minor key. That means, in particular, if you're in a major key, and you build a chord off of scale degree 1, what type of chord do you end up, or what type of triad, we'll start with triad, what type of triad do you end up with? Major. If you build a chord off of scale degree 2, triad anyway, what type?
Minor.
Minor. 3?
Minor.
4? 5?
Major.
6?
Minor.
7? Diminished. If I'm in a minor key and I build a chord off the scale degree, a triad off the scale degree 1, what type do I get? Minor. 2? Diminished. 3? 4? Minor. 5? 6? 7? Alright. If I add the sevenths to these, if I make seventh chords out of my majors, here in a major key, do that over here. Off of scale degree 1, what type of what type of seventh chord do I get? Major 7. What type of seventh chord off of scale degree 2? Minor 7. 3? Minor 7. 4? Major 7. 5? Major minor, dominant. 6? 6 is minor. And then 7 is the half of it. Alright, in a minor key, off of scale degree 1. Minor 7. 2. Half diminished. 3. Major 7. 4. Minor 7. 5. Major minor. 6. 7. Holy. Again, if you know the triads and the Roman numeral here, switching it over to 7th chords is just one extra step. But if you notice the triad, the Roman numeral stays the same. Whether you're dealing with triads or 7th chords, just remember, again, if we have a major triad and we add a 7th to it, you only have 2 options. It's either gonna become a major 7th chord or it's become a major minor 7th chord. And the only triad in major key or minor key that becomes a major minor 7th chord is the 5th chord. So if you can remember that, the rest of the major triads become major 7th chords, whether you're in a major key or a minor key. So that narrows that one down. And then if it's a minor triad, there's only one option for a 7th chord at this point, and that's minor 7. So if it's minor in a major key, it becomes a minor 7. If it's a minor in a minor key, it becomes a minor 7. So right there, you have now all your minor chords taken care of, all your major chords taken care of. The only thing that's left are to memorize really is what you do with the diminished chords. And in a major key, you only have one diminished chord, that becomes half diminished. In a minor key, you have 2 diminished chords. The 2 chord becomes half diminished. The 7th chord becomes fully diminished. Hopefully that makes sense. I feel like for me that just, like I don't have to worry too much about memorizing something brand new when I have to do the 7th chords. If you have this memorized, triads and 7th and major key and minor key, it should be a fairly simple step to then add the 7ths. And you will need to know this for the exam. We just went through which scale degrees form major triad. That's a good way to organize it as well. So if you're in major key, 1, 4, and 5 are major. In minor key, 3, 5, and 6 are major. In a minor, which ones form minor triads? In a major key, it's 2, 3, and 6. In a minor key, it's 1 and 4. Scale degrees are diminished. 7 in major, 2 and 7 in minor. Know the Roman numeral analysis of the major key and that's what we just went through. Analyze excerpts from using using Roman numerals, which is what you had to do for your homework for today, and what I'd like to concentrate on pretty much the rest of the class moving forward. Alright, so minute hand still works. Questions about any of that I just went through?
Is there any, besides the homework, is there anything else that specifically talks about the major and minor settings?
Oh, you mean,
Just for the 7ths.
with the 7ths? Other than the homework. I think it would all be in the textbook then.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of examples in the self-test. Yeah. Some examples of it. Yeah,
Okay.
Alright, speaking of homework, let's go over what was due today. From some of the pages I saw, people that turned it in, either before the quiz understanding, a couple of things I saw that, I just wanna review. First of all, so for the first section, let's say if we're looking at, number 10. The key is F major, the chord, things like that. So this is not root position. I've organized the notes so it can be root position. Looks like I'm gonna get E, G, B flat, and B. So E is my root. E is the 7th note up in the F major scale. So this is a chord built off the scale degree 7. If I have my Roman numerals memorized already, I know that scale degree 7 and a major key will produce a half diminished 7th chord. If I don't have that memorized, then I will have to go through this the long way and analyze the notes of the chords based off the root and figure it out that way. Now, where I saw the little bit of the confusion was when we transfer them back to the way it's originally written. The B flat is in the bass, not the E, so this is not a root position chord. The B flat is in the bass, which is the 5th. That means I have to move once, twice, so it's a second inversion. And what I saw was something like this. You want to erase the 7 and only put the 4 through. Alright. 7 implies root position, and if you include it, is almost unnecessary to include it, or it looks like it's part of the BPS symbol, which would be incorrect too, because it would be 6, 4, 3 if you wanted that extra note or extra number on top, not the 7, 4, 3. So just erase it all together. Try to remember to do that. And then the chord lychee symbol is going to be E half diminished 7. So the 7 does appear in the lead sheet symbol, even if it's in an inversion. You still have to have the 7 in there. E half diminished 7 with a B flat in the bass. Alright. Are there any of these that you guys would like to go through? Any questions about this section? Alright.
Number 8.
What's that?
Number 8.
Number 8? Sure. Key is E minor, chord, C sharp, E, G, and A. Alright, if I take that A down an octave, I get A, C sharp, E, and D. So A is my root. A is 5th note up in D minor. D, E, F, G, A. So this is a 5 chord in D minor. Again, if I have my 7ths all memorized, I will know that this is a major with a minor 7, or a dominant 7, major, minor. The way that it's written though, the C sharp, not the A, is in the bass, so the A has been moved up once, just one inversion, so that makes it 6, 5 for a 7th chord, first inversion. I will erase the 7, put 6, 5, and this is an A, 7, with a C sharp.
Okay, so my question is, so after we notate them in the root triad,
Yeah.
we still have to put the original note that's in the bass and what the actual root note is for the 7th chord. So how
Well,
you got the A7 C sharp, so that means we still gotta put the A from the original how it's written.
In order to, well, alright, so when I put it in, stacked triads like this, the root
Right.
position, that tells me the Roman numeral.
Right, but.
Okay, this, when I put it back into the original way, will tell me then the BPS.
Right, but just when you're notating, I mean, when you're writing out the, like how you got the A7 and C sharp.
This
Could,
one here?
no, no, no.
Oh, up here, lead
Yeah,
sheet.
the actual for the lead sheet.
Yeah.
So we just put the C sharp and, so we did like C sharp, 6-5, and then we put the 5, the Roman numeral 5 at the bottom. Would that be right still, correct or wrong?
The lead sheet symbol doesn't use like 6-5 or any of that business. So you wouldn't have 6-5 or any of that in the lead sheet.
Okay, then I guess if we just did the C sharp then, so if we just put C sharp on top.
Yes.
And then we put the Roman numeral 5 and the 6, would that be correct, or would we still have to show the original?
Yeah, this is telling me it's a C sharp major triad, which this is not. This is an A7.
Oh, okay.
So you need to have.
So you
an
still
A7.
have to show
Yeah.
that it's originally
Yes, the type of chord is an A7 chord,
an A7 chord.
and you have a C sharp in the mix.
Okay.
Yep. Alright, other questions from this section? Alright, so from section B, some of the things I saw, a couple different people, say, number 7. I'm sorry, number 6. The key is G minor, and we have to build a chord off of scale degree 7 alright. So G minor has 2 flats, E flat, E flat. Scale degree 7 is F. So we'll go F, A, C, E. And where I saw some confusion was that at this point then, maybe you have memorized, alright, 7 in minor is gonna be a fully diminished 7 chord, so since F is the root, it's gonna be A flat, C flat, and E, maybe double flat. And I have a diminished chord now built off of scale degree 7. If you end up with something like this, double check the key signature. Key signature for G minor is 2 flats, B flats and E flats. You will not have A flats, C flats, or E double flats in G minor. So at this point then, something might have gotten confused, or you're just like, I've had enough of this, I'm leaving it the way it is, and we're gonna move on, which I understand that frustration. At that point then, I would say, yeah, take a break. If this is on the exam, come back to it. Maybe circle it, come back to it. Hopefully you have some time to get back to it. Because this hopefully doesn't look right. So what did I miss? What step? Yeah, Carter.
Since it's the 7th scale degree, you raise the 7th.
Yeah. So in minor, we gotta remember scale degree 7, it's raised when it's a chord built off of 7 or a chord built off of scale degree 5. So since it's a chord built off of 7, in G minor, F becomes F sharp, which then changes everything about this. And really, if I say I don't want to go through, you can go through all the steps of building a diminished chord off of F sharp now, or again, key signature of B flat, G is relative major is B flat, major 2 flats, B's and E's are flat. At this point, I should have a diminished 7th chord, which if I went through it the wrong way, F sharp to A is a minor third, A to C is a minor third, C to E flat, also minor third. Yes, this is a diminished 7th chord. So if you find yourself adding a lot of accidentals, that doesn't look like the key pertaining to the key signature, maybe, circle that, come back to it, or, or just recognize that maybe something's not right. So I saw that with a few, couple people there, that one, I think it was that one. Look at this photo. Is there any questions? About any of these other examples? See, now, it's time to review it. Alright, let's go over. I thought we went over this one in class last week, but are there any questions about the first one? Alright, let's go through the second one, cause I know I did not go through that one in class. Alright, so the second one, they do not tell us the key signature, or whether we're in major or minor, but based on the key signature, we're in either in E major or C sharp minor. The first chord though, they tell us, and the last chord, and this chord, notice they're all in treble clef. Got E, E, G sharp, G sharp. So, what note, I mentioned earlier, before the quiz, and then, I think a little, maybe last week as well. If we're gonna omit a note out of a triad, what note is it gonna be? The root, third, or fifth? The fifth. So, cause if it were the root, this could be a C sharp minor triad without the C sharp, but that is really unlikely. Because the root kind of tells you everything about the chord. So, we got E, E, G sharp, that would be a major one chord. The last chord, E, E, G sharp, G sharp, that's also a one chord. So the key is E major. So we have a one chord for the first chord. Next chord we have is a D sharp, F sharp, F sharp, E. So again, I'm gonna organize this so it looks like stacked thirds. And I get B, D sharp, F sharp, B is my root, B is the fifth note up in the key of E, and that is a major triad. And I go back to the way it looks in the music. The D sharp is the lowest note, not the B. D sharp is my third, which means it's first inversion, so we're gonna have a sixth there next to it. Next chord, C sharp, E, G sharp, and another E. I have that in root position, it looks like this, C sharp, E, G sharp. G sharp is my root, G sharp is the sixth note up in the key of E. This is a minor triad, and the C sharp is in the bass, it's the lowest note, so it's a root position sixth chord. Next chord we have B, E, G sharp, and D sharp. Four different notes, so this is seventh chord. I stack them up, I get E, G sharp, B, and D sharp. E is my root, E is scale degree 1 in the key of E. This is a major 7, but the B is in the bass and not the E, so B is the fifth. So erase the 7 and I put 4, 3 instead. The M needs to stay there though, because that indicates that's a major 7. You erase the M2, then that's telling me that you're saying this is a dominant 7 or maybe minor 7, which would not be the case. anymore, so make sure that the M stays.
But the Roman numeral one chords never been down in we talked about.
Nothing that it wouldn't be diatonic anymore, so
Oh,
that's what I'm
alright.
saying,
Okay.
don't erase the M.
So it exists.
It does exist, but just not,
With what we've got, with the variance that we talked about.
alright, next chord we have A, E, A, C sharp. Stack it up, I get A, C sharp, and E. A is my root, A is fourth note up in E. This is a major triad, whoops. Stacks up just like major four chord. And the A is in the bass, so it's root position, so I don't need anything else next to my Roman numeral. Next chord, I got G sharp, B, E, and B. So I organize it in root position, I get E, G sharp, and B. E is my root, E is scale degree 1. But the G sharp is in the bass and not the E, that's the third of the chord, so that's our first inversion chord. Then I have B, D sharp, F sharp, A. It's actually all stacked up for me. B, D sharp, F sharp, and A. B is my root, that's the fifth. And this is a 7 chord. Major, minor, 7 chord, no off the scale degree 5. And then again, the last one is that one. Triad missing the fifth. Alright. Questions about how I would do this? Yeah, I feel like I know I kind of talk fast, but anything that looks confusing or need more explanation? Good. Okay. Let's look at. Oh, I know what I wanna look at. This is one I used to put on the exam. I don't anymore, and you'll see why. I think I just wanted to make sure that there was some, I don't know, something a little more challenging. But I decided that maybe it was too challenging. Why? Oh, no, it's not these. Let's take a look at this. Alright. We're taking a step back from Roman numerals and we're finding the root, the type, and the BPS. First chord, we have an E, B, E, and a G sharp. That one's not too bad. If I stack them up, root position, I get E, G sharp, and B. Root, E, type, major, and the E is in the bass, so the BPS is one for root position chart. Alright, not so bad. What notes do we see in number 2? Joey, tell me the notes that you see.
There's a B, an F, and a G.
Okay. I stack them up. G, B, E, F. G is my root. This is a major, minor, 7. And Everybody agree with that answer? Andrew?
The G is sharp.
Ah, exactly. The G is sharp
Oh, cause it's tied.
because it's tied.
What the?
So this is not a G7 chord, it's a G sharp in the bass, which changes everything. It's a G sharp diminished 7. But, yeah. Just like you're reading or playing the music, you wanna analyze it that same way, so all those rules about accidentals and everything carrying through still applies.
I was looking at it, I'm like, I don't see anything too complex, like there's
Yeah.
no key signature.
Well, what also confuses a lot of students is this. They see 2 notes there. So for beat 3, it would be trickier, they would have a hard time, finding the chord and analysis, the type and whatnot. But what's really happening on beat 3 and 4? Everybody see, there are 4 notes there, even though you don't see 4 notes in that beat. Alright.
There's a whole note in bass clef and treble clef.
Yeah, so these notes are still being heard through that measure, even though visually you don't see anything on those beats. You gotta look farther back and, oh yeah, this gets 4 beats, so that, you're gonna hear that on beat 3 and you're gonna hear it on beat 4. So that then helps with the analysis, or the analysis. You got B, D, F, and A, which makes it 7 chord. B, D, F, A. So the B is the root, the type is half diminished. When you're doing that type, another common error I see students do on the exam, I've seen this in the past, is they'll write the circle with the slash through it, but not the 7 next to it. The full symbol is half diminished 7, so you gotta include the 7 with the type. So remember, if it's a 7th chord, the type, you know, you have major 7, you have major minor 7, or again, if you just wanna put 7 there, that's fine. Minor 7, half diminished 7, fully diminished 7. The 7 has to be part of that type, that symbol. Alright, and then if we go again back to this, number 5, the F is in the bass, which is the 5th of the chord, which means 2nd inversion, so it's 4-3 for the BPS. Alright, the next chord then that we would be missing would, looks like we're missing those, but it's F, A, C, and then another A, which is an F major triad, F, A, C, F is the root, major triad, and F is in the bass, so BPS would be blank. This chord here, again, also looks like it's missing a note. You got C, E, and E, like it's only 2 notes, but the G is being held through. Same way with this last beat of this measure, it looks like there's only an A there, but again, we have an F and a D and another D being held through. So, watch lengths of notes and watch out for accidentals, okay? Yeah, Andrew.
That one that we talked about the first was G sharp.
Yeah.
Anyways, it carries over to the second measure because of the tie.
Mm-hmm.
Would it continue to be carried if there was another G in the second measure? Or does it sound?
Technically, no.
Okay,
Yeah, like if you're saying like maybe there's a G here.
right.
Right. No, it would have to be you'd have to see another sharp on that G. Good question. They'll only carry over with a tie. Other questions, anything else on this?
I'm just glad it's not gonna be on the exam.
It won't be on the, I've become nicer in my older age. What else?
saving yourself work, cause there was so many mistakes.
Yeah, that too, maybe that's what it was, like, I'm so tired of grading this crap.
It's not cause he wants to make it easier on us, just.
Yeah, easier for me.
His job.
Yeah, exactly. You finally figured me out. Let's do a couple of these just for, practice. Yeah, I was trying to think if we could do Roman numerals, but there's too many accidentals, so, we'll keep it the way it is. So the first chord, Leo, what notes do you see?
A, C, and E.
A, C, and E, C sharp, A, C sharp, E. What's the root?
The root is A.
A.
It's a major chord.
Major.
And the EPS is 6.
Good. C sharp is the third, it's in the bass, so it's EPS. Well, the next one is a little bit trickier. I wonder if it's in the directions. Isaiah, what notes do you see here?
A, G, and E.
Yeah, A, G, and E. Is that a triad? 3 notes. A, G, and E. So there's no way that we can really stack thirds there, can we? Ah, chord 14 is missed. No. Interesting. Again, to me, if we did have to stack there, this will not be on the exam, by the way. But I guess it's good that it comes up. It'll come up a little bit more later. If we did have to stack thirds, is there a different way we could organize that? Because notice, like, here's a third, but between G and A is second. Anybody see a different way to organize it? Yeah.
Pretend there's a missing C code.
And there's a missing C, yes, you would have A, C, E, G, right? And we do have a C in this chord. So to me, that seems more logical on what's happening here. Again, this is a little bit beyond what we've had to deal with, and don't worry about this being, anything looking like this on the test. I guess I forgot that that was even there, but, definitely need a little bit more explanation. So if we do call it an A chord with a missing C sharp, we would say A is the root. If this were a C sharp, we'd have A, C sharp, E, G. The type would be dominant 7, major, minor. And then the bass note is A, so again, the BPS would have to be a 7 for our type. Let's do one that has Roman numerals and maybe complete chords. Let's just look at we've been around a long time. The last measure. Right here. Yeah, bass clef, and then 3 steps treble clef. So we got a G, we have a B, and a D, and a G. What's the root of chord? Good, G, G, B, D, right?
Yep.
And in the key of D major, G is what scale degree? 4. So he says a major chord built off the scale degree 4. So it's gonna be a capital Roman numeral 4. That's a 6. Thank you. Having a rough morning on 4s and 6s. Don't do that on the test either. Let that be a warning. I've done it several times now. G is the base note, so it's root position,
Yes.
so no BPS is necessary.
Yes.
Alright, then we have a D, an A, a D, and an F sharp, because of the key signature. Always include the key signature when you're analyzing these. So what's the root?
F.
What's the chord?
Um,
F-A-D.
Yeah. Is
Oh,
that-
okay,
so
it's the
D, there you go. D, F sharp, A is the chord. What type of chord is that?
it's a minor. Oh my gosh.
Major.
Stupid accidental.
Yes, F sharp is the key signature. Major triad built off of scale degree 1 and B majors, and that's our 1 chord. And D is in the base, so again, no BPS necessary. The last chord looks exactly the same as the chord we just did, it's 47. So that is also a 1 chord and root position. I feel like I'm running out of time. Are there any other questions or concerns about what you're gonna see on Wednesday?
Are we gonna be able to look at our quizzes before the exam?
I'll grade them, and if you get here on time, I'll pass them back. If you get here late, then I'll collect that after. Again, though, you'll get the entire class time to do the exam. It's the only thing we'll do, no homework for Wednesday, no homework for next Monday. So just study for the exam, for Wednesday, and that's all you have to tell me wait for this week. If you do have any homework assignments from this unit that have not been turned in, I'll give you until the weekend to turn in, say Sunday night. Well, why don't I just make it Monday morning, because then I can get the actual physical, it's easier for me to grade the physical copy than it is the, PDF file. So, we'll say Monday in class, if you have anything from unit 2 that needs to be turned in, any homework assignment, turn in then. If you wanna hang on to your homework that's due today, or any of the homework that's due for study purposes until Wednesday, you can turn it in on Wednesday, I'll collect it then, yes.
What was all the homework? Cause I forgot.
Everything is listed on the website.
Oh,
Yep, good question, I think it's time to remind everybody about that.
I was gonna say, cause the schedule says homework 1, 2, 3.
If you go to calendar, I have been keeping up on this. So, like Wednesday, the 26th, which was last Wednesday, homework 17, click on that and it tells you what we did. Monday, 16, tells you what's due. Alright, but I'll collect it, if you have homework right now, I'll collect it. You want your name today? Does that mean you have a lot of questions today, do you?
I was really good at one, yeah, me too. And then,
How did you find that listing in the song? Because it's like really fast. You gave me, there's like barely at least a nine, like that and one more song.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I just, I'll
Just the niche and not.
did you listen to that?
I want to be there when the electrical company gets there.
I didn't know. I gotta check.
It's
So-
Salva and you and no ID.
Because,
Like,
well, I'll have everything done, but.
Yeah, that's fine.
The thing is, half the tree is still up, and if that other half, if they don't take the other half down, it's gonna fall again.
On the house or?
Most likely.
Oh.
It's that or the neighbors, so.
Maybe you can push it towards the neighbors.
No.
Big tree.
Yeah,
Lucky I could get one of my evergreen trees falling out.
Literally like the last year, it's just been
In fact, my wife went to the court, that she peacefully wasted
I don't mind it, I just don't, I'm not the top of the story.
I don't know if you can.
It's like my
It's a different
And like
house.
they,
Yeah.
Is it evergreen tree?
and I.
No, it's a pine tree.
Well, that's evergreen.
Oh, well,
That, they're gonna be
yeah,
done,
it took
and I'm
out
gonna have
the
to
power
access.
line and the
Yeah,
internet,
so
we
2
got
times
with
go
it, so
So I got
thankfully
sick, and
the
my friend did it.
line
She's
didn't
like, why are you
break,
just getting
so
one
it's not
of those?
working.
And I was like, well, no.
Yeah, so you can't use
You
those.
can't-
Find
with
it.
another one
Yeah,
in
the
front of
second
my
time I
house,
went.
for the- I didn't
I think like you say, we, I went.
It's not for those
And,
ones
second
solid.
time I got like,
When
I
it
think
falls
too,
across the
and
road,
she
it
really
did
did,
fall to
like,
the
I
road.
didn't even get inside, cause I was really.
And the guys are out there
And I was
putting
like,
fiber optics.
$12.
On Wednesday.
So they were the ones right there, that's what.
But.
Oh, really?
It saved me the job.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna say,
How long would that take for like the city or county?
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna be about the big plans, the big plans are, it's just south about 2 months, it's 2 tornadoes came through, 2 tornadoes came through, within about 2 months of my house. That area, the Onondaga area, which is about 3 miles away from me.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah, that's, like, cause the severe weather kept on saying Detroit area or south.
Yeah.
South of us mostly, but then all of a sudden, I saw nothing like on the TV or anything about tornado, and then I heard the sirens going off.
Well,
I had to look it up online to find out, and then we got
it was very
LCC.
sudden.
Yeah, it was.
But that was like an hour after the tornado sirens had already gone off.
Yeah.
I don't know what the
My
tornado
mother
was.
said she saw something, because she has a ring camera, I put it on the front of the house. Sorry, dark cloud come through right away.
Really?
And I kept telling her,
This was like salmon, tuna, and
And
whitefish.
then
If it works,
I was sitting
try what you want.
upstairs on the couch, like not top floor, but like ground level, just sitting on the couch, and then the tree, like at that window, like, I'm like, that's my cue to go to the duck
I
tree.
get it.
Like,
Yeah. The dark scared. No more efficiency basketball.
Yeah, my son's like, they get ready to go to.
I was gonna say, my buddy Nathan, he was sitting next to you, and I was like, you're gonna be my, like, update guy, cause like, cause they all went down to the ground floor and everything.
Yeah, we didn't miss much.
They lost three.
I know, but it's a good one.
Yeah, the whole time, like, that's what they've been doing though, it seems like most of the season is they'll get behind in the first half, but then they'll fall into that. But you get these good number 1 seeds, they're not gonna allow you to just be
Yeah.
not anymore.
So you said, is there something that tells you what the updates are, or? No.
Well, you might be able to go online, they might mention,
Really?
yeah, they might, or something.
They actually go online to this or something, or?
Or the publisher, yeah. They might say what has been added,
I did.
but they
She
don't,
was
they won't always tell you
She was
specifically.
like,
Yeah.
I didn't know you.
Cause this does.
You sang last semester. I know, that's what everyone else said, but like.
Oh, and I am,
I was
also
like,
show,
I
I have
didn't know what
some
song.
videos when I,
Oh, you said.
recorded my album.
Yeah.
Videos, you know,
Like, I just wanted to know what you said. So I was like,
This
I don't actually know how to.
And
And then they
yeah,
made about the
and I got their, on their
Okay,
email,
you're up.
mailing address.
And I was like, okay,
So
cool.
I'll get
I'm like,
these
I'm playing